For the past couple of decades, technologies have existed that enable students and instructors to collaborate online. As we push into web-based learning experiences and online learning, and the technologies of the Web 2.0 find their way into classrooms, schools, and universities, we see this notion of collaboration becoming pervasive in your own classroom settings as well as in institutions and organizations around the world. That's what I'm going to be talking to you about in this segment, brought to you by Indiana University School of Education, fostering online collaboration and teaming. You know, developing tasks is the key part where collaboration makes or breaks. If you don't have the task structured, you're not going to have interesting, engaging, meaningful collaboration taking place. So think about things on the front end. How are you going to design the task and assess that task? How are you going to create teams and support those teams? What kinds of interactions might take place? How large will your groups be? How will they interact, and where will you find their work? And how will you react to it? How could they share notes and documents and slides? There are tools today for doing so, whether it's Google Documents, where you might be writing a document and posting it online for others to collaborate with you on, or slides that you've posted like these in PowerPoint, potentially spreadsheet activities from Google Docs. This is all free, by the way, at Google Docs, at least at this time. It's an interesting and very powerful website that one can use for collaboration, not only within your classes, but within other professional and personal activities that you engage in. Slides that you create can go up in SlideShare if you don't want to use Google Documents to share slides. Collaboration also can take place in discussion forums, in wikis, in blogs, in online communications. Students today can use wikis like Twiki or PBWorks, which used to be called PB Wiki, Peanut Butter Wiki. If it's as easy as peanut butter, anybody can use it, right? Wet Paint if you're in the K-12 area. Wiki Spaces is an interesting and easy tool which a lot of people use for business, nonprofit, K-12, higher ed, across. Millions of people now have wikis in these spaces, and now with classrooms you can have students doing some interesting teaming activities, sharing activities, put stuff in the wiki here. Not only in wikis do you have things, not only sharing documents in Google Docs and SlideShare, but how about blogs and blog postings among team members, among groups, among entire classes like Blogger or like WordPress, where teams might do something and not just individual reflections, where teams might have a headset on and have something in Skype where you reflect and you discuss, you put the old headsets on and discuss with someone else what's going on. Have a research meeting among team members of a project that you're doing within a class. You know, you can maybe do cross-cultural, be in more than one place around the globe with tools like Skype or Skype, which is free, by the way, or Google Talk. If you want to go back to the Googleization of information, try Google Talk and have free phone calls with anyone around the world. If you want a web conference, tools like DimDim, Adobe Connect Pro, these all let you do some kind of synchronous web conferencing and discussions. Ning is a tool for groups to form and discuss and share documents and share videos and have profiles. Often I've seen lately conferences creating websites in Ning to create memberships there. But it's a great tool for collaboration among group members. Of course, with all this technology, you also have to explain the roles that students are going to have to take on. Once they have their roles defined, you have to monitor what the groups are doing within within your online settings. And if it's working really well, you might change the groups or keep the groups. You have a choice to make at some point. And a teamwork, so you can maybe reuse it later in the semester, reflect on it, use it as examples later on. There's many things you do as an instructor once you've set up those groups. Size of group becomes important. Do you want 2 people groups, 3 people in a group, 4 people? Experiment with just 2 people to start with, and then maybe expand to 3, 4, or 5 in small group teamwork. In discussion forums, it could be larger. And then, do we want to maybe have cross-institutional collaboration, cross-institutional kinds of events that occur so that students get to know each other outside your place? And then when you grade it, is it instructor grading that work, or is the team grading it? Are peers grading what the individual students have done? Is it self-graded, or are experts coming in? And when you have all this collaboration, you have challenges. Students might have different interests, not only within your own class, but coming from other places around the world with different areas of expertise, background, cultural knowledge. And once you've formed a group and do an activity like a jigsaw or critical activity where everyone has a role to play and someone doesn't show up or do their part or is a slacker, you have some difficulties there. So start with 2, maybe move to 3 or 4 students within a group. Plan ahead. Think about how you want your interactions to occur in these online environments. Think about cross-cultural interactions, but do expect problems that might occur at the time that could arise, and address those quickly so that students engage in rich and meaningful activities and don't always kind of just try and surf the top and just trying to survive within that activity. Maybe testimonials from prior groups, maybe examples of prior groups will help overcome problems. Maybe post the task structures, maybe some job aids or advice sheets of how you want them to interact across groups or within groups or even across institutions. The more job aids you provide that are clear and succinct, the more likely your groups will engage in effective online activities. And at the end of the semester, at the end of a unit, at the end of an activity, you might have students reflect on what they did in these teaming activities. You might have them reflect on what you could do differently next time so that it could be even more effective than what you just accomplished. Consider your grading as well. How are you going to grade their work? Is it a group grade? Maybe group grade is a small component and the individual work is a much larger component. Predefine it so students know what and how their work will be assessed. There are many things to consider, many factors, many components, many potential dilemmas and problems in creating online groups. There also are tools today that can help you make it more efficient and smooth running when you do in fact have a small group or even a large group activity or cross-cultural activity. Take advantage of these technologies. Take advantage of things like Google Documents that are free. Take advantage of what students already know in terms of online teaming. Survey them, see what they've done before, see what they'd like to do. There's an endless array of people you can bring into your class if you do online collaboration. You see, collaboration becomes the key not only to what happens within your class, but how you expose your class to others around the world. And when that happens, you've extended your classroom setting to all sorts of interesting activities and events that you never dreamed of. Try a couple new things out, push the envelope, have your classroom extend around the world when and if you can. Good luck with online collaboration. I hope you're successful.